Charles Upham is the only combat soldier in history to win the Victoria Cross twice. You need to understand this because this is an incredible thing. The Victoria Cross, Britain's highest military honor, for valor, given to those who show extraordinary courage in battle. Winning it is nearly impossible. Winning it twice? Impossible. But Upham did it. First Victoria Cross, 1941. Crete. The Germans are invading the island. With paratroopers, thousands of German paratroopers dropping from the sky, Upham's battalion is defending Alamein airfield. 9 days of fighting, 9 days of hell. First day, Upham gets shot in the shoulder. Doesn't get treatment. Keeps fighting. Second day, gets shot in the leg. Still no treatment. Keeps going. Third day, gets hit by a grenade. Ears bleeding. Keeps going. For 9 days, Upham attacks German positions alone or with small groups. Throwing grenades, shooting, killing. 22 Germans by himself, documented, verified. At one point, he throws a grenade into a German machine gun nest. It explodes. Germans die. Upham goes in, shoots the remaining 3 Germans, moves to the next position. Another scene, he's carrying a wounded officer on his shoulder for 600 meters. Under German fire, bullets kicking up around him. Gets the officer to safety, then goes back and rejoins the fight. Crete falls. The Allies evacuate. Upham's on the last boat out, still fighting as the Germans close in on the beach. Victoria Cross. First one. Second Victoria Cross. 1942. North Africa, El Alamein. Against Rommel. The Desert Fox. Upham's a company commander now. July 14th to 15th night attack. Upham leads his company into German positions. Grenades, bayonets, close combat. At one point, a German tank rolls up next to them. Upham climbs on top of it, drops a grenade down the ventilation shaft. Tank disabled, arms broken, shoulders wounded, under fire, keeps fighting. By morning, he's carrying wounded men under German fire. Saves one, goes back for another. Attack succeeds. German line breaks, but Upham can't stand anymore. Gets evacuated to hospital. Broken arm, wounded shoulder, shrapnel in his body. Exhaustion. Victoria Cross. Second one. Think about that. Winning 1. Victoria Cross is incredible. 2. One guy in history. One combat soldier. Charles Upham. Late 1942. The Germans capture him. North Africa. Prisoner of war. And the Germans know the legend. The mad bastard Upham, they call him. They say it with respect. They say it with fear. 2 Victoria Crosses, the number of Germans he's killed. The number of times he's been wounded, but he's still fighting. This guy doesn't stop. The Germans don't know what to do with him. Can't send him to a regular POW camp because Upham will escape. Guaranteed. They send him to Colditz Castle, Nazi Germany's maximum security POW camp, where they send the most dangerous prisoners. And they're right, because Upham tries to escape 4 times. First attempt, laundry truck, got 3 kilometers. Caught. Second attempt, sewer tunnel. Lasted 8 hours. Exit was locked. Turned back. Third attempt, stole a guard uniform. Made it 50 meters. Caught. Fourth attempt, wall climbing. Rope broke, fell, caught. 4 times, 4 failures. But Upham doesn't stop trying. December 12th, 1943. 11:47 p.m. Colditz Castle. Upham's cell door opens. He's not expecting visitors. Not at midnight. Not ever. A German guard at the door. Young, nervous, flashlight cutting through the darkness. Kommen Sie, schnell. Come, quick. Upham doesn't move. Not yet. Because at Colditz, you don't rush when the Germans tell you to. You don't give them the satisfaction of seeing fear. Slowly stands up. Hands at his sides. No sudden movements. Because sudden movements get you shot. The guard steps back, points down the corridor with his rifle. Upham walks. The corridor's empty. No other guards, no prisoners, just stone walls. Echoing footsteps. This is wrong. Everything's wrong. The guard takes him down 3 flights of stairs. Into a part of the castle Upham's never seen. Older stonework, medieval walls, centuries of prisoners. They stop at a heavy wooden door. Oak, reinforced with iron bands. The guard knocks twice, waits, knocks once more. The door opens from inside. The room's lit by a single oil lamp on a wooden table. 3 men sitting at the table. One's German, Wehrmacht uniform, Oberst rank, full colonel, Colditz commandant. One's civilian, expensive suit, British cut, but his eyes are hard, military eyes, intelligence service eyes. The third, Swiss Red Cross armband, neutral gray suit, face carefully blank, trained to see everything and reveal nothing. Upham stands in the doorway. The guard behind him closes the door, stays outside. The British man speaks. "Captain Upham, sit down." Upham doesn't sit. "Who are you?" The man slides a photograph across the table. A German officer in Wehrmacht uniform, general's insignia, iron cross at his throat, 50s, hard eyes, mouth like a knife cut. General Ernst Kessler. The British man speaks. Wehrmacht intelligence, stationed in Berlin, currently coordinating defensive operations for the eastern approaches. Upham looks at the photo, looks at the 3 men, doesn't touch the photo. "What's this got to do with me?" The British man leans forward. "General Kessler wants to defect. Hold on. He has information, troop positions, defense plans, the location of every German division from here to Moscow. He'll give us everything. But he has conditions." Upham crosses his arms. "Let me guess. His family." The British man nods. His wife and daughter, Anna and Sophie Kessler, currently living in Munich, under Gestapo surveillance. If Kessler defects without getting them out first, they'll be arrested, interrogated, executed. We need to extract them before Kessler will talk. Upham leans against the wall. "So extract them." The British man shakes his head. "We can't. British agents can't operate in Munich. The Gestapo has the city locked down. Any infiltration attempt would be detected immediately. Americans can't help. Same problem. The Swiss can observe, but they can't act. Neutrality prevents it." The German Oberst speaks now. His English is perfect but accented. "We cannot help either. If Berlin discovers we're involved in extracting a traitor general's family, we'll all be shot." Upham looks at each of them. "So how?" The British man says it simply. "You." Silence. 5 seconds. Upham breaks the silence with a laugh. Short, harsh, no humor in it. "You want me?" "A prisoner of war. A New Zealand officer who's tried to escape from this castle 4 separate times to somehow get into Munich. Locate a German general's family. Extract them. Get them to safety. That's the plan?" "Yes." Upham laughs again. "You're insane." The Swiss man speaks, for the first time. Voice quiet, measured. "Captain Upham, you've won the Victoria Cross twice. You fought for 9 days wounded at Crete. You commanded with a broken arm at Alamein. You've tried to escape from Colditz 4 times. You failed every time, but you kept trying. You're the most dangerous man in the British Army. Even the Germans recognize you as a legend. That's why we chose you. There's a mission, an impossible mission. Nobody else can do it. But maybe you can, because impossible is what you do." Upham looks at him. Long moment. "If I fail?" The British man answers. "If you fail, you're a POW who tried to escape and got caught. Same as the last 4 times. Back to your cell. No worse off than you are now. Except I'll be dead, shot trying to escape or caught by the Gestapo in Munich." The Oberst nods slowly. "Yes? Most likely you will be dead." Upham looks at the photo again. General Kessler, the man who wants to betray his country, the information that could end the war, the family that will die if someone doesn't get them out. He thinks about his men, the New Zealanders who died at Crete, the friends who died at Alamein, other battlefields, because this war won't end. He thinks about the 4 escape attempts from Colditz, 4 failures, 4 times going back to his cell knowing he'd try again. This isn't an escape. This is a mission. A real mission. Something that might actually matter. If I succeed, the Swiss man answers, the intelligence General Kessler will provide could shorten the war by months, maybe a year. Thousands of lives saved. Maybe tens of thousands. What's the plan? The British man reaches under the table, pulls out a canvas bag, sets it on the table. Inside are civilian clothes, German factory worker clothes, dirty, worn, ordinary identity papers. Hans Werner, from Hamburg, working at a BMW factory in Munich. Small amount of German marks for a train ticket, maybe 2 meals. No weapon. No gun? The British man shakes his head. You're a German factory worker called to Munich for a work assignment. Factory workers don't carry guns. A weapon would compromise your cover immediately. The Swiss man produces a folded paper, hand-drawn map of Munich in ink, one building circled in red. The Kessler family lives here. Ludwigstrasse 47, 3rd floor, apartment 3B. You'll arrive in Munich on the 14th. You'll make contact with Anna Kessler. You'll show her this letter. A sealed envelope, red wax with General Kessler's personal seal. She'll trust you or she won't. You'll extract her and her daughter. You'll bring them to the Swiss border. The consulate in Constance will be expecting you. The Oberst speaks. Tomorrow morning, you'll be taken to solitary confinement for another escape attempt. But you won't arrive there. Instead, you'll be given these clothes. You'll dress as a German civilian. You'll walk out the East Gate. There's a train to Munich that departs at 600. You'll be on it. Then what? Then you have 72 hours. 3 days. To complete the mission and reach the Swiss border. After 72 hours, the operation is terminated. The consulate in Constance closes the door. You're on your own. The British man stands. Captain Upham, this is entirely voluntary. You can walk out right now. Go back to your cell. No consequences. But if you accept, you'll be operating alone. No support, no backup. No extraction if things go wrong. In enemy territory by yourself. The odds of success are slim. The odds of survival are worse. Upham looks at the bag. The clothes, the papers, the map. Another year in his cell, while other men fight and die. 4 escape attempts, all failures. But the need to do something. He picks up the bag. When do I leave? The Oberst nods. Tomorrow morning, 05:30, be ready. No handshakes, no dramatic moment, no speeches, no ceremony. Upham takes the bag and walks out. The young guards waiting in the corridor, takes him back to his cell, locks the door. Upham sits on his bunk, opens the bag, examines the contents. The clothes smell like oil and sweat. Authentic workers' clothes, worn, stained, the kind nobody looks at twice. The papers look real, proper stamps, signatures. Whoever forged these knew what they were doing. The money's enough. Barely. A train ticket. Maybe 2 meals. He holds the sealed letter. Red wax with General Kessler's seal. The last hope of a man betraying everything he knows to stop a war. Upham lies back on his bunk, stares at the ceiling. Doesn't sleep. He thinks, in 6 hours he'll walk out of Colditz dressed as a German factory worker. In 2 days, he'll be in Munich trying to convince a woman he's never met to trust him with her life and her daughter's life. In 3 days, he'll either be across the Swiss border with 2 refugees or dead in a Gestapo cell. For the first time in 2 years, Charles Upham feels like a soldier again. December 13th, 1943, 5:30 a.m., Colditz Castle. Upham's cell door opens, same young guard, more nervous this time. Zeitz again. Time to go. Upham stands, hands behind his back, standard prisoner position. The guard leads him out into the corridor, and something unexpected happens. They turn right. The disciplinary wing is to the left, but the guard's going right. No other guards, no cameras, just empty corridor. Early morning silence. They reach a door. Small, side service door. The guard turns the key, opens the door, points inside. Small room, storage room, cleaning supplies on shelves, canvas bag on the floor, the bag from last night. The guard closes the door, waits outside. Upham opens the bag, starts changing. Prisoner uniform comes off, worker clothes go on, dirty blue coveralls, worn jacket, heavy work boots. He puts the identity papers in his pocket. Hans Werner, Hamburg, factory worker, slides the sealed envelope into his inside pocket, goes through the map one more time in his head, then burns it in a small metal bucket. Paper turns to ash. Looks in the mirror. Prisoner Upham is gone. In his place is an ordinary German worker, tired, hungry looking. The kind of guy nobody looks at twice. Knocks on the door. The guard opens it, looks at Upham, nods. They walk down the corridor, to the back stairs, the unused section. Down they go. Ground floor, east wing, another door. The guard stops one last time, looks at Upham, wants to say something but doesn't, just nods. Opens the door. Outside it's snowing. Light, quiet. December morning. Upham steps out, into free air. For the first time in 2 years. No guards, no wire, no walls. Doesn't look back. Walks forward, down the snowy path. The castle walls fall behind. He needs to walk 3 kilometers. To the town, to the train station, the 0600 train to Munich. Checks his watch, 5:47, 13 minutes. Speeds up but doesn't run. Walks like a worker going to his job, hurrying but not panicking. The town appears on the horizon. Small German town. Smoke rising from chimneys, people heading to work. Nobody looks at him. The train station ahead, small. 2 platforms. The Munich train, waiting on platform 2. Goes to the ticket window. Hands over money, gets a ticket. The man doesn't even look at him. Next customer. Boards the train, 3rd car, crowded, workers, farmers, a couple soldiers, finds an empty seat, sits, looks out the window. The train whistle blows, starts moving. The Colditz town falls behind. The castle sits on the hill, getting smaller. Charles Upham spent the last 2 years in that castle. Tried to escape 4 times. Got brought back 4 times. Now he's leaving for the 5th time. But this time, with permission. This time, with a mission. This time, he might not have to come back. The train arrives at Munich Hauptbahnhof. 2:20 p.m., 8-hour journey. Upham doesn't get off immediately. Waits. Other passengers get off first, then him. In the crowd. Invisible. The station's big. High ceiling. Glass roof. But there's damage. Bomb damage. Some windows broken. Some walls cracked. Munich's been bombed. Multiple times. Allied air raids. The city's still standing, but the scars are everywhere. He walks from the platform to the exit. There's a checkpoint. 2 Gestapo officers, checking civilians. Random selection. Document checks. Upham gets in line. The man in front of him gets checked. Elderly. Papers reviewed. Passes through. Upham's turn. The Gestapo officer looks up. Young. Sharp eyes. Suspicious. Papier. Papers. Upham hands over his identity documents. Calm, not rushed. Hans Werner, Hamburg, BMW factory. The officer reads. Looks at the photo, looks at Upham, looks at the photo again. Warum München? Why Munich? Upham's prepared. Expected this question. Factory. Shift change. 2 weeks Munich factory, then back to Hamburg. The officer examines the papers. Sees the work order. BMW seal. Looks official. Wo wohnen Sie? Where are you staying? Upham gives an address. From memory. Fake address but real street. Can be verified. The officer waits several seconds, looking for fear in Upham's eyes, looking for hesitation, looking for something. Upham doesn't look away. Looks tired. Just tired. 8 hours on a train, needs to get to work, needs to do his shift. Just an ordinary worker tired of the war. The officer hands the papers back. Waiter. Move along. Upham takes the papers, passes through, leaves the checkpoint behind, exits the station, into the streets of Munich. The city's alive but tense. People walking, shopping, working. But the air's heavy. There's pressure, there's fear, the war is being lost. Everyone knows it, but nobody says it. Upham follows the map from memory. Needs to get to Ludwigstrasse. 35-minute walk from the station, but he doesn't hurry. Wants to be seen, wants to blend in. Can see damage in the streets. Bomb craters, destroyed buildings. Some areas totally wrecked, some untouched. Passes a bomb shelter, people lined up. Ration distribution, ration food, the reality of war. An SS patrol passes, 4 men fully equipped, looking at civilians, searching for saboteurs, deserters, Jews. Upham lowers his head, keeps walking, doesn't draw attention. 30 minutes later, he reaches Ludwigstrasse. Street of old apartments, beautiful buildings, pre-war wealth, now aged, neglected. Finds number 47. 4-story building, elegant entrance, but now deteriorated. Glass broken, door crooked, goes inside, the stairs are old wood. Creaking, climbs to the 3rd floor. Apartment 3B, nameplate on the door. Kessler. Upham listens. Sounds from behind the door. A woman, a child, doing something in the kitchen. It's 3 p.m. afternoon. Normal time. Neighbors are home, people in the streets. Worst time for a kidnapping, but best time not to raise suspicion. He knocks on the door. Soft. Twice. The sounds inside stop. Footsteps. Approaching the door. Where is stop? Who's there? Woman's voice, cautious, scared. Upham answers in German. He's practiced. Accented but understandable. Hans Werner, Ihr Mann hat mich geschickt. Hans Werner, your husband sent me. Silence. Long. Someone behind the door thinking, deciding. The door opens. Chain on, half open, a woman looking out, 30s, blonde, tired eyes, frightened face. Ernst? Ernst hat sie geschickt? Ernst? Ernst sent you? Upham shows the envelope. Red seal visible. General Kessler's personal seal. Ja, das ist für Sie. Yes, this is for you. The woman looks at the envelope, recognizes the seal. Hands shaking. Opens the chain, opens the door. Schnell, kommen Sie rein. Quick, come in. Upham goes inside, door closes behind him. Locks. The apartment's small. 2 rooms, kitchen, living room, old furniture. The wealth of another time, now just a memory. Anna Kessler takes the envelope, opens it, reads the letter. Ernst's handwriting, her eyes fill. In the corner, a little girl stands. 8 years old, maybe 9. Sophie, blonde curly hair, big eyes, scared but curious. Anna finishes the letter, folds it, looks at Upham. Tell me who you really are. Upham answers quietly. I'm not Hans Werner. Charles Upham, New Zealand, British Army, prisoner of war, currently escaped. British intelligence and German command made a deal to extract your husband. But first I need to get you out, to Switzerland, to safety. Then your husband will defect. And maybe this damn war will end. Anna leans against the wall, looks at her daughter, back at Upham. How can I trust you? Upham points to the envelope. Your husband trusts me. You don't have another option. Either you come with me or you stay here and the Gestapo takes you. Ernst is really going to defect? Against Berlin, yes. To the Allies, yes. To end the war, yes. Anna closes her eyes, takes a long breath, decides. When do we leave? Now, tonight, every minute you stay here is a risk. Where? Switzerland, Constance. 340 kilometers, 3 days. Train, walking, illegal crossing, it won't be easy. Sophie speaks, for the first time. Small voice, scared. Will we see Fadi? Will we see Daddy? Upham looks at her, kneels down, eye level. Yes, your father's waiting for you, but first we need to get to Switzerland. Can you be brave? Sophie nods, yes, small but determined. Anna decides. We're getting ready. How much time do we have? 20 minutes? Light packing, food, water, warm clothes. Needs to be light. We need to be able to run. 20 minutes later, they're ready. 2 bags, light, portable. Anna looks at the apartment one last time. Home, memories, their lives, leaving it all behind. Let's go. Upham opens the door, checks the corridor. Empty. They walk to the stairs. Go down, quietly. Ground floor. Exit door. Street. Upham goes out first. Anna and Sophie follow, trying to look normal. Mother, daughter, and Uncle Hans. Afternoon walk. They leave Ludwigstrasse, turn into side streets. Less crowded, fewer eyes. The goal is the train station, but not the same station. Not Hauptbahnhof. Pacing station. West side, smaller. Less security. They need to walk 2 kilometers. Upham walks slowly. Sophie doesn't get tired. Anna can breathe. An hour later, they reach Passing. Small station, 2 platforms, few people. They don't buy tickets. Upham has tickets ready in the papers. Gift from Oberst Müller to Augsburg. First step west. They wait for the train. 10 minutes. Sophie's tired, sits. Anna's nervous, watching everything. Train comes, old, slow. Regional train. They board, find an empty compartment. Sit. Close the door. Train starts moving. Munich falls behind. First phase of the mission complete. Kessler family extracted. But the real challenge is just beginning. 300 kilometers of escape through enemy territory. Checkpoints, patrols, Gestapo, all of them coming soon. Augsburg station, 9:30 p.m. Train stops, passengers getting off, some getting on. Upham looks out the window. 2 Gestapo officers on the platform, checking the train, going through compartments. This was expected, but not pleasant. He looks at Anna. Stay calm, you're my sister, from Hamburg. We're visiting our aunt in Constance. Understood? Anna nods, pulls Sophie close. Footsteps in the corridor, getting closer. The door opens, Gestapo officer, middle-aged, tired, but eyes sharp, puppy-haired. Upham hands over all 3 sets of papers. Hans Werner, Hamburg. Anna Werner, Hamburg, sister. Sophie Werner, Hamburg, niece. Forged documents. Oberst Müller's work. Look perfect, hopefully. The officer reads, slowly, every line. Wohin fahren Sie? Where are you going? Constance, visiting our aunt. Warum jetzt? Mitten im Krieg? Why now? In the middle of the war? Upham's prepared. Aunt's sick, old, maybe last visit. Factory gave permission. The officer looks at Anna. Your name? Your name? Anna answers, voice calm but slightly trembling. Anna Werner. Und das Kind? And the child? Sophie, my daughter. The officer looks at Sophie. Little girl's scared, clinging to her mother. The officer examines the papers. Long time, too long, then hands them back. Gut Reise. Safe travels. Closes the door and leaves. Upham exhales. Didn't realize he was holding his breath. Anna puts her head on the table, shaking. We made it, Upham whispers. First checkpoint passed. But they know. More checkpoints coming. December 15th. 48 hours of the 72 gone, 24 hours left. 120 kilometers to Constance. But they can't go direct. Too many checkpoints. Main roads, too dangerous. Upham changes the plan. They get off the train at Friedrichshafen, by the lake. From here they'll walk, through the forest. Slower but safer. There's a problem. Sophie, 8 years old. Can she walk 20 kilometers through forest? She has to. They start walking at night. Upham in front, Anna in the middle, Sophie holding her mother's hand. There's snow, cold, moonlight illuminating the forest. Hours pass, Sophie gets tired, can't walk anymore. Upham carries her on his back, takes Anna's bag. They keep going. 4 a.m. They've gone 15 kilometers, 5 more to go. Then Constance, then the Swiss border, but morning's coming. Darkness protected them. In daylight, they'll be visible. They need to hurry. December 16th, 6 a.m. near Constance. 66 hours of the 72 gone, 6 hours left. The Swiss border is 2 kilometers ahead, but this is the most dangerous part. Border security, wire fence, patrols, mines. Upham leaves Anna and Sophie behind a tree. Wait here, I'll be back. He crawls forward. 200 meters, he sees the border. Wire fence 3 meters high, barbed wire on top. Mine warning signs, but not clear where they are. A patrol passes, 2 German soldiers. No dogs. Lucky. He waits. Patrol moves away. Goes back to Anna and Sophie. We need to cross the wire. There might be mines. Follow exactly behind me, step by step. Don't go left or right. Anna nods. Sophie's scared but silent. They start walking. Slow. Very slow. Every step could be death. They reach the wire fence. Upham pulls out wire cutters. Oberst Müller gave them. Hidden inside, starts cutting the wire. Makes noise, metal sound, dangerous, but keeps going. The cut widens, big enough for a person. Go through, quick. Sophie first. Anna second. Upham last. They cross now on Swiss soil. But not safe yet. Need to reach the Konstanz consulate. December 16th, 10 a.m., Konstanz, Switzerland. 70 hours of the 72 gone, 2 hours left. Upham, Anna, and Sophie approach the Swiss consulate. Neutral building, safe zone. They knock on the door. A Swiss man opens it, familiar face. The man from the meeting at Colditz. Captain Upham, come in quick. They go inside. Door closes. Anna collapses to the floor, crying. Sophie hugs her mother. The Swiss man looks at Upham. You did it. I can't believe it, but you did it. Upham answers. Where's General Kessler? On his way. He'll be here tomorrow. He'll see his family. Then he goes to London. Gives the intelligence. What about me? The Swiss man smiles. Freedom. You can stay in Switzerland until the war ends or return to England. Upham thinks. 2 years at Colditz. 4 failed escapes. 1 successful mission. I'm going back to England. The Swiss man nods. I knew it. Now I gotta tell you something. This story is fiction. Completely fiction. Charles Upham was real. The 2 Victoria Crosses were real. Colditz was real. The 4 escape attempts were real. But this mission never happened. It's not in the records, not in the historical documents. I made it up, but a guy like Charles Upham, the only combat soldier to win the Victoria Cross twice, the guy who tried to escape 4 times, the mad bastard Upham. If there had been a mission like this, if they'd needed to give someone an impossible mission, it would have been Upham, because impossible was what he did. He fought for 9 days wounded at Crete. He commanded with a broken arm at Alamein. He tried to escape from Colditz 4 times, going to Munich and extracting a general's family. For Upham, that's just another Tuesday. Is it real or not? We don't know. But could it have happened? Absolutely, because Charles Upham was the guy who did the impossible. And this story fits his spirit. If this story moved you, hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and tell me, could this have been real? Or is it complete nonsense? Let's discuss. Because Charles Upham, what he did in real life, was already more unbelievable than fiction.